Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Twitchy Tuesday. We are here. We are live. We had a few things we had to get through in order to get here, but that is okay because we are here today, back live on our normal, regularly scheduled program, Twitchy Tuesday. So happy to see everybody here. My name is Maloney Adams with Habitual Sages, and this is what we do. We bring you Twitchy Tuesdays. We do some tarot, we do some astrology, we get into the vibes. We have this wonderful music playing in the background. I got to give a shout out to this Pretzel Rocks. This was a great addition, and I love having just that little bit of sound, a little bit of nice influence into the background. Hope everybody is doing great. Thank you so much for joining today, and we're going to get started. We've got a very interesting, it is a pre-eclipse week for us. This is the moment before the eclipse. There are very poignant conversations happening, which is going to lead us straight into that eclipse energy, which we will go over in next week's Twitchy Tuesday. We'll do readings for that. But we got to get through this space first. And you are joining on a really, really amazing day. We have later on today, the Sun conjunct Jupiter goes exact. And we're going to talk about that because this can be a very jubilant, very expansive opportunity. There's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot going on right now, especially in Aries. And what does that really look like and really mean as it pertains to us and how we work with these energies? So let's clear some space. We know we do it each time. We'll get a little cleansing. We'll get a little clearing of the space. And then we'll get into the astrology and the tarot. So clear space. First off, we have Q2 goals set. Sun conjunct. We have Q2 goals set. Sun conjunct Jupiter action. So we are clearing space. Here's where we're at. We have set Q2 goals here at Habitual Sages at Twitchy Tuesdays on this beautiful Sun conjunct Jupiter. This is one of those signatures. Be very, very, very intentional and very real with what you want. So support and help this channel grow. Our Q2 goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, as well as 100 subscribers on Twitch. Those are the goals. That is the goal for Q2. We are putting it out in the universe. We are manifesting it. We are working and doing our diligence to get it there. However, that also means that I need your support. So if you find value in this, if you really like this channel, spread it around, share, feel free to share. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way we can continue to bring this content out and continue to move forward. Additionally, because Saturn, we've got to do the work. I'm also joining Think Media's 1K challenge. So if you want more info, you can definitely head over on my community page on YouTube. That information is there. And I'm also going to drop it in the chat here. The link here. We're growing and we're learning. And this is one way to do that. So I'm excited to see how this shifts and changes things. As you'll see when we get to the card reading, we actually already shifted how the cards, the kind of space that we have. I'll give you a little preview of that here in just a minute. So yeah, this is all a journey and I am so excited, and thank you each of you for joining me on this journey. All Twitchy Tuesdays are scheduled out through April, so you can hit that notify button so you don't miss it. It's found on my main page. It's found on Twitch. All of the info is right there for you. We also are doing Red Pill Astrology. We love that. Moni and I am one half of Red Pill Astrology. Moni with Ripples in the Matrix is the other. We are off and rocking, and all of those are scheduled as well and available. So you can head over to Red Pill Astrology's YouTube page and access through my YouTube page and sign up for those too. And then we have a really big announcement for the daily dose. So for those of you that were like, I've been hearing about this daily dose, I'm interested, I want to try it, but I'm just not sure if 3 months is what I want to commit to right now. Totally get it. We listened, we heard. So as of April 19th, which is when obviously the eclipse is happening, but also when Moni and I will be going live for one of our Red Pill Astrology lives, we will be integrating a monthly subscription for the daily dose where you can pay month by month. You can go in, you can go out, you can get the information, get what you need, head out for a while and come back, etc. So that will be starting as we get into mid-April. I think that is all we have for clearing space. Let's get into this astrology. All right, so let me show you, and I know I'm saying this for the audio listeners, I just changed my screen. You can see the new setup. Is this not so much better, y'all? Having this space, loving this space, being able to see the full spread and not this just kind of tiny little corner. Thank you to my amazing husband for always supporting and getting that, supporting and getting all of this work and getting this done as through the weekend so that way we could be here today. So astrology wise, here is how the tarot is going to go. There's a lot of changes coming up. There's a bunch of changes coming up. And even myself right now, and we'll talk about how this kind of all aligns, but there's this really big sense of limbo. I know I've been feeling that really readily. So if that's something you're kind of aligning with and resonates with you, you're not alone. There's a lot of energy happening. There's a lot of new. There's a lot of the new happening. And that can kind of work our nervous system, work our energy patterns. So I brought out the Wheel of the Year Tarot because I love this tarot deck. Not only does it help kind of support as seasons change, but seasons changing is a very cardinal sign sort of energy. And this is what this deck gives me, is the ability to work through change. So I have the Wheel of the Year Tarot here. As always, this is just the standard. You guys know this is the standard. The Morgan Greer Tiny Tarot. And all decks will be in the description box afterwards on both Twitch and YouTube. And then I just really felt with all of the things that are happening, we really needed some wisdom. And where could that wisdom come from? And so I looked at my oracle cards, and I think I've only ever used this once, this Wisdom of the Trees oracle. And I love this. Energy totally called right away as soon as I saw it. And as you can see, I threw in all of the links to the decks in the chat as well, if anybody is interested. But that Wisdom of the Tree oracle, I love that there's wisdom involved. That was one of the things that first drew me, but trees too. Like right now, there's a lot going on. So being grounded, being centered is, I know in my own personal life, is really important right now. So getting in, digging our roots deep, what better way to do that than with the trees? So that is our decks for today. And from the astrology perspective, we still have all planets direct until 421. So the eclipse is going to happen on 419. Then we have the start, and 419, 420, just depends upon where you're at. Then we have the start of Taurus season. And then we have Mercury retrograde. So it's like boom, boom, boom. Next week, next Twitchy Tuesday is going to be real lit, I am sure. So it's going to be this really quick succession of energy changes that are going to happen. So we have this week into next week to really, again, have this intentionality about our actions and about what we're doing and what we're going to be bringing forward and what we're starting, what we're changing, what we're leaving behind as we begin to move forward. And then we start to have these retrogrades. We are at the start of quarter two. There is pure potential here. And that is going to be the theme over, for sure, over the eclipse. And then as we finalize that eclipse into May, and into June. So today, again, we have the Sun and Jupiter conjunction, and we'll talk about, between this Libra full moon, which, by the way, for anybody that is in here and has access to the chat, how was this Libra full moon for you? Even me, you can hear it. I keep kind of switching cadences and I keep like wanting to pull into the Libra, wanting to pull into this energy of like unity and togetherness and relationships and all of this. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, hold on, there's a process. We need to ground. We need to get, what about the Aries things in life? So I hope everybody's Libra full moon was so wonderful. I was actually traveling last week, and this is how I love how astrology works, because I am not one of the astrologers that plan my life around auspicious elections or like, oh my gosh, let me pull the chart for that moment before I do something. I kind of, Five of Wands, I leave it up to chance. I leave it up to the universe. I leave it up to there. But what I always love is the connections that get shown. So I had a work trip last week, and how that connected and how that got brought together. This work trip, which was all about connecting, building relationships, building unity, having competitiveness. No wonder the Five of Wands is here. Having this competitiveness between me and my coworkers who, since the pandemic, a lot of us haven't seen each other in person, maybe but once, maybe twice. So it was a lot about connecting and building. And of course it landed right on the Libra full moon. Of course it did. Like, you can't make it up. And I love, again, leaving it up to chance and change. That's how I love to use astrology, not really necessarily doing the election piece. There are some wonderful astrologers that do that, and I think there's a really high value in that. But for me, I love seeing the after effect. I love planning something and then going, sweet shit. Of course I chose this day to put this down. So that is your Libra full moon. Again, I hope everybody had a great one, and happy Venus in Gemini. Happy chatty time. Venus in Gemini, that is a wonderful breath of fresh air. It's a wonderful, we talked about this last week. There's just this need to be outside. Like, I even have the windows open right now. It's just I love this time of year. I love this change of season. And I love that Venus gets into Gemini right now, of course, always in this alignment. And through all of these changes that are occurring, here's Venus just to smooth the way for us. Venus has a big week this week. She is smoothing the way. He's helping us socialize our thoughts. And this week is very punctuated in how the astrology is coming out. It's like we have two really big aspects today. And then 2 really big aspects on the 14th, and that's it. We only have like 4 aspects to talk about for this whole Twitchy Tuesday, but it's very punctuated. It's very like the word staccato is coming in. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, rest. And that's really how this style of air conversations, all of this air energy that we're feeling, I feel like this week is just in that mode of go, go, go. Okay, stop. Go, go, go. Okay, stop. It's what was that game where everybody's on the line and like red light, green light. That's what it is. Red light, green light. That is what this week is. Just that whole image just showed up in my head right now. It's like red light, green light this week. Go, stop. Go. And that is what we are here to really help with the wisdom of the oracle, help with this tarot deck to help us guide, change, guide that cardinal energy. That's why these two are here, because of that stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, as everything else is happening and things around the world are happening. So let's talk about the 11th. So the 11th today, we have Venus in Gemini trine Pluto in Aquarius. That has already occurred. Conversation is still very much playing out. That happened at 5:14 a.m. Central Time at 0 degrees 16 minutes. And Venus got into Gemini, had barely a second to register the air that was whooshing through her hair, and then she meets up with Pluto in Aquarius. And then 3 of Wands, yeah, this new movement forward, this direction forward, this, hey, before you go off on this journey, Venus, before you just really get into this Gemini air love, we got some things to talk about. There's some things happening that we need to discuss. And then Sun conjunct Jupiter, and that has actually just happened. So 5:07 p.m. Central Time. It is 5:52 right now. The Sun just conjunct Jupiter in Aries at 21 degrees 45 minutes. So we are still within the Cazimi range, 17 minutes. It's go time. Again, state what you need, and we'll get into that a little bit more. And then it's a stop. We stop for 2 days. We don't have any other conversations. And then on the 14th, Venus in Gemini squares Saturn in Pisces at 4 degrees 4 minutes. That's going to happen at 11:38 a.m. Central. And then Saturn in Pisces will sextile the North Node at the exact same degree point. So we'll talk about these number 4s here in a minute, but at the exact same degree, Saturn will then sextile the North Node. So Saturn goes into a square, immediate sextile at 12:30 p.m. So just under an hour later. And even though Venus and this trine to Pluto is kind of that signature energy for today, when Venus got into Gemini, she immediately started applying to this square with Saturn. So even though the front runner of this energy is Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn is still very much in that background, still hearing the conversation. They may not be able to be seen. Saturn may not have a lot of viewpoints right now, but Saturn is still part of this conversation and how this week's going to kind of unfold. So let's get into, I really want to talk about Venus's journey, and then, and this ties into Saturn and the North Node. So we're going to cover those first, and then we are going to get into this Sun conjunct Jupiter, and we'll do a reading, and then will be our Twitchy Tuesday today. So let's get into this Venus journey. So this trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this is an air sign trine, right? We've got Gemini air. That is mutable air, which means it can flex, it can ebb, it can change direction. It's very fluid in how it moves. And we have Pluto in Aquarius being fixed air. So this is the air that's trapped in a box. It's the air that is not as moldable and movable. It doesn't have a lot of options to flow the way a mutable air flows. And this is all around, this meetup is really about, there's a strong signature of communication, of thoughts, of information sharing. Because Venus, again, is very social in Gemini. She's a chatty Cathy. She wants to be out, she wants to be talking, she wants to be doing things. And with Pluto here, like, I want to share, I want to be talking, I want to share all the things that I've learned, I want to share where I'm going and what I'm doing. But with Pluto here, there's this level of depth to that conversation, and there's a level of required sexuality. Like, Venus wants to be very superficial in Gemini, very surface level in Gemini, and Pluto's kind of like standing in her way saying, don't bring that bullshit over here. No, nah, boo, don't bring that bullshit over here. Like, you're gonna talk to me and we're gonna have an actual conversation. Um, if you like, I'm not the dude you want to approach. I'm not the planet you want to approach, Venus, if you just want to have something superficial. Like, we're gonna actually have a talk. Um, so it's almost like, if you can really get into these conversations and get into this energy, these are the types of conversations that you might have went into not expecting a lot, but you come out with this like, wow, like, I didn't think that meeting was going to go that way. I didn't think that this meetup was going to go that way, but holy shit, like, I just learned all this information about somebody. I got all of this knowledge. I got all of this like insight, and it's really created a bond. There's the ability with these two to really create deep connections, intimacy, a new level of understanding, being willing and open to see. Hello. Nice to see you, ma'am. Thank you for joining. There's really this ability to see like new, like the larger stage, opening up of communication on a different level with these two. This could also, I have not looked at the news all day today. That's me and who I am. I have been blissfully unaware of all of the news, but we could see or hear in the coming days announcements of new relationships. And those are all kinds of relationships. This is not exclusively like interpersonal relationships. There could be relationships between entities. This could be something that looks like two businesses joining together, countries having conversations, um, like people being brought to the boardroom together. So there could be these like really, like, these are kind of those merger sort of conversations. And then it comes back to, how does that affect you in your thought process going forward? Right? So let's see if there's any other cards that want to come out before I get to the cards with this conversation. Thank you. Ooh, Temperance. All right. So if you are new joining me here, and for those audio listeners as well, I do not read tarot. I don't read reversals. The energies speak for themselves. The cards speak for themselves. I am just here as a channel. Thank you, ancestors, for allowing me to be such, and speaking to me and speaking through me. So the cards themselves, we read straight up. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and Temperance. And as we're talking about this potential budding of a new conversation, opening up on a larger stage, having this kind of maybe a surprise, like a little bit of an interesting surprise. Like, this to me with this Temperance here, this is all about the ebb and flow. And Nyla 101, thank you so much for chatting. Yes, I do readings. All of that information can be found via the About Me section on Twitch, because I believe that that's where you're coming from, is Twitch. So you can find all of that on my About Me section. Through the Temperance, though, there's this ebb and flow. This is that feeling again of that start stop. Like, you're going to have to move one way as one cup pours into the other. you're going to have to move in that direction. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see the other direction come forward. That cup is going to get full, and then Temperance is going to have to change that direction and move forward. So here's this Venus trine Gemini having this more in-depth conversation than was planned. All of a sudden, you're going to have to like shift what that looks like into something else, because Venus is already applying to this square with Saturn, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. So there is this flow that is needed as you go down this journey. That's the Two of Wands. This is a brand new journey. It's a journey that is destined. This card, this is why I love using the Morgan Tarot deck, because this card, like this gentleman is holding this oracle ball. This is a destined journey. You are on your path. This is the path. You end in mind, I've got that long-term vision. I don't yet know the steps to get there. But Knight of Pentacles, I'm ready. I am ready. I am fucking grounded. I am in this earth right now. I am actually having this experience. This is what I love about this time is we've truly transitioned from a abundant 5D experience, which is a lot of what we had been working with over the last 3 years. And we are moving, and this is how this eclipse season is tying into all of this. We are now moving to a new eclipse axis of Aries and Libra. That is all here. That is all here. Those are all the actions that we take, the relationships that we build, the movements that we make, balance that we bring between the 5D and the 3D. And I love that the Knight of Pentacles shows up, and I love that the Knight of Pentacles is facing the Two of Rods. It's almost like the Two of Rods is, if you look at him here, and I can even bring this up a little closer for everyone, he's really youthful, right? Like that is a young, youthful energy right there. And this Knight of Pentacles, little bit more mature, right? And I love that they're facing each other, and Temperance is over here like, yo, bro, yep, we're flowing. We're doing the things. Venus, I got you, girl. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep flowing. And this youthful energy is like, I'm ready to fucking go on this journey. I am ready for all of this. I'm excited. And the Knight of Pentacles is like, yeah, we're going to do this damn thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to be here to guard your back. I'm going to be here to support you through this. This reminds me a lot of Saturn right now in this conversation. Like, I am here to support you. I'm here to show you the way. I'm here to, not only that, this is why Wisdom wanted to be here today. I'm here to show you the pitfalls. I'm here to create the container of safety as you move forward into whatever this new is for you. As these changes occur, you can put your faith in me. I've got you. I've got your safety and security at the front of the mind. So another thing, and we'll put these back and talk through then a couple other things with this Pluto and Venus conversation. Another way that I felt into this energy that this could come up is not all conversations, like when you, and I'm sure everybody's had these. I know I have had plenty of these where you walk into a conversation thinking one thing and you leave like, oh shit, that was not what I was expecting them to say. I was not expecting them to go that deep. As people, like this could be very interesting where people could begin to show you where they are at. Venus doesn't want to get that deep. Pluto wants to get that deep. So here we grow. And again, because of this Aries energy, this all comes back to what are you going to do with the information now that you've gained? What are you going to do with this conversation? And some of this too, with Pluto in the picture, one of Pluto's main tools, I get it, right? But Pluto's main tool is fear. Fear moves mountains. Period. Dot. Fear makes people do things that they would never normally do. And Pluto is very great at that. Pluto is extremely good at using fear. And I was pulling some tarot. So we had the Four of Pentacles come out, Queen of Cups, and the Lovers. And as I was talking about that, the reason why I said that is there could be a real fear of intimacy this time. Hold on. I wasn't expecting you to get that close. Now I've got to do something with this information. It's almost like, and I keep seeing this, and with the Lovers popped out, we're going to go right in and talk about it. Twitchy Tuesday, this is what we do. This, to me, I keep getting the image and keep hearing the words about, this is like those speed dating. That's what this is reminding me of. This energy right now is, it's like you found somebody you're interested in, you go on a date with them, and here's the Lovers, right? You go on a date with them, you have a really fucking amazing time on your first date. You're like, dude, this is gold. This is fucking awesome. I am super really excited right now. What else can hold on, I gotta collect myself. I am super, super excited. You go on your second date, maybe even your third date, everything's going great. And then you're really not ready to take the next step, but that other person is. That other person becomes this Queen of Cups right here. And in your next date, gushes. I'm just hearing with this Queen of Cups, this gushing of intimate information it's almost like, hey, I know we've only dated for 3 times, but I think I love you already. And Venus in Gemini is like, what the fuck? Is this money with this Four of Pentacles? Is this money? Are you sure? What is happening right now? And so now it's about, what are you going to do with that information? Did you get triggered with your fear of intimacy? Did you get triggered about with what you just heard or how that all played out? So now how do you process through this? And that is what Saturn in Pisces is going to be asking, as Venus already is applying to that square. So again, that is the 14th. So you have a couple of days where this conversation is going to continue to play out. And now in comes Saturn with the stronger energy in Pisces, again at 4 degrees, 4 minutes. We have a Four of Pentacles right here. Grounded foundation. The threes, in how I read, threes are always, to me, the number and the tarot signification of your foundation in the 3D, your ancestors, your Ori, what you do, what's going on up here with your higher self in the spirit realm that is doing the work in order to bring things necessary into this realm, which is what fours are all about. It's at 4-4. And then Saturn going to the North Node, our future, also 4-4. So there's something really prominent with foundation that is being asked, and that Saturn is, it's almost like, so Saturn in Pisces is just a really interesting energy in its own right, but it's almost like an incredibly secure foundation in this moment, in you, in your human experience, that you are a spiritual being, that you have the spiritual connectedness needed to continue to move down the path, that you have all of the things that you know that maybe, yes, during this, hi, I love you after 3 dates conversation, there was a little bit of a fear of intimacy, that you can stand in your power and go, okay, I know that I got triggered. I'm totally okay with that. I also know how to act. Again, it goes back to that statement. And one of my favorite statements is, thank you for showing me where you're at. Now I know how to move forward. Now I know what to do. Now I know what I can bring into this conversation. Because some relationships are superficial. They are very high level. Others are incredibly deep. And very few typically end up being that super strong level of intimacy, right? So here is again this opportunity for you with Saturn in the picture to set that foundation, set those boundaries. If if that played out for you and you're like, I'm sorry, I really like you. I had a great first couple of dates, but that's not what I'm looking for. Let me tell you what I am and let me reset expectations. How do you feel now? Or, you know what? As crazy as it may fucking sound, I love you too. And let's go. Let's make this happen, right? Or maybe it's just a little bit of blend of both, but that is how Venus square Saturn is going to end up inserting itself into this picture. So as soon, she's got this already applied square. Now you have the info. What distance and boundaries need to be set with it? What are you going to do with it? And that's what Saturn's going to ask you. Yeah, King of Rods. What action are you going to take? What King of Rods, healthy action are you going to take? Right? It's high vibrational action are you going to take? What things are you going to do? And it's one of those, I honestly, through these conversations, like this to me is a much, much bigger and longer conversation that goes out into May and into the future. We may not have all the things yet. And that's where I kept kind of feeling into like, yeah, we don't have all the 10 of Swords. We don't have all of the answers yet. All of this, like you need to stand in your sovereignty, your self-sovereignty. That's what Aries is all about. This is what this Sun conjunct Jupiter, all of this energy moving forward into this eclipse season and the nodes changing. This is what it's all about. Self-sovereignty. Chiron in Aries, self-sovereignty. Still standing in your power, allowing the past to be the past, allowing these 10s of Swords to just sit where they are. This is also limbo. 10 of Swords is stagnant limbo. Whoa. Lots of information came in. I don't know what to do with all of it yet. I don't have all the answers yet, but I know I'm going to have to face it soon. That's those two cards right here, King of Rods and 10 of Swords. I know I'm going to have to face it soon. I know the decisions I make. I trust in my foundation with the 4 of Pentacles. This gushing lover's energy, there is still, again, it's as all of this is happening, just remember things happen for you, not to you. Stay in that lover's mindset, stay in that heart center, stay grounded. We'll get some of that wisdom from the tree oracle here in just a moment. So then, we've got Venus squaring Saturn again at 4-4. Saturn in Pisces is then going to, not even an hour later, sextile the North Node in Taurus. And this is like, this meetup is Saturn then is also meaning it's opposing the South Node. So this actually, when I was thinking about this, came to me in an image versus like I saw versus actually getting words for this. So I got the image of kind of like what we were just talking about with the cards, where the 2 of Wands came up and the Knight of Rods or the Knight of Rods, Knight of Pentacles came up. It's kind of that energy. So I got the image of a seer meeting with the queen and king, queen or king, doesn't matter, after they've sent their only child to conquer something. So like, imagine, like, if you want, you can even close your eyes. Imagine this like castle, and there's a sliver of a window that the king or queen, whatever your image conjures, is staring out and looking out this window. And it's dark and it's damp like a castle is. And behind the king or queen, out from the shadows, comes the seer, comes the wise woman, the wise man, the magician, the astrologer, the whatever image that conjures for you. And the queen is looking out at her only daughter, because this is Venus. The queen is looking out, or the king, at their only child, their only daughter. And they have just sent them on the journey that is forever going to change them. Their child is exuberant. They're full of vigor. They're ready to take on the challenge. They wanted this challenge. They know, their child knows that this is what they were brought here to do. This is their purpose in life. And they're riding off into the sunset like, I'm going on this journey. And as a parent, as a sovereign ruler, it's like it needed to be done. But there's also wisdom with the seer and the king and queen of that journey ahead is going to be fraught. Like, my child is not going to come back the same person. And as they shouldn't, right? Like, those are all good things. That doesn't still mean in the moment you don't feel that. And it's almost, I wrote down these quotations of, we've known that this day was going to come. It's like that seer and that king queen conversation of, we knew this day was going to come. This was prophesized. This was destined. This is what this person is here for. It doesn't make it any easier, right? And so out came, all in a chunk, out came the Judgment, the 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands again, and the 4 of Swords. So thinking about this story as Saturn sextiles the North Node in Taurus, like there is, again, there's, with this Judgment here, this is a new journey that somebody is going on. You're going on. There is, again, it's, I'm just getting the word, it's ordained. It's written. It's exactly what it is. Like, yes, there's that, there can be that fear. There can be that fear of owning and taking and like acknowledging that this is the journey you're here for. But get in the boat. Let Gabriel's horn guide you. Feel that knowingness. Stand in that ground and go, this is, I accept. And then here you have the 8 of Swords. That is just, it's like, even though you're bound, even though you're scared, even though there's fear, even though Pluto's here, even though Saturn's here, even though you have no fucking idea what any of this shit's going to look like, you have no clue what this journey is going to look like, that's okay. It's totally okay. You got this. Thank you for the thumbs up. I just saw that come up, and I'm going to say Shinam. So thank you so much for joining us today as we kind of get into this and get into this energy. And yeah, there's some things here. There is some things here that, right? Okay, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to take on this challenge. 5, there is change. There is change here. Some people may not be ready for you to take on this challenge or to change. Again, these are these conversations that could be happening out there. Make sure, and with this 4 of Swords here, make sure you know who's coming with you. Make sure that you're not putting like even with the Knight there that we had before, there's a level of trust that people come in with, and then there is earned trust. And you have to, this Aries, this Chiron in Aries, all of this Aries information that is going on, this eclipse and these nodes that are about ready to move, you have to trust yourself and the decisions that you make. You have to trust that when conflict comes, because conflict is going to come, that you can stand and you can still move forward, right? You, like the 5 of Wands, conflict, you can move forward with Judgment. You can do it. And with the 4 of Swords, yeah, there could be even more like, this can be stuff coming in your dreams, especially Saturn and Pisces. This could be information coming in your dreams with this Four of Swords on how you can move forward, what types of boundaries you need to set, where this next direction is, and really putting together that this isn't about today. Shit, it ain't even about tomorrow. It ain't even about Q2, right? Those are so, Saturn and Pisces has fucking nothing, wants nothing to do with the short term. This is all about everything in the past, right? 12th house, Pisces, our ancestry, the past, the deep past lives, into today, and how we shoot all the way forward, how we change ourselves, our legacy, and what we move forward with. And a lot of those answers may come in the dream state. Let them come. Accept and receive. Accept and receive that those are going to come there. So that is Saturn and Pisces sextiling the North Node. Woo. All right. Well, that was definitely all in there. All right. So Saturn conjunct Jupiter. That is what we are here for. We are going to be, I'm going to actually put these to the side unless we need some clarifiers. And we are going to transition to our deck of the day, the Wheel of the Year Tarot. Again, everything will be in the description box after the live stream. So Saturn conjunct Jupiter in Aries. Again, it just happened 5:07 p.m. Central. This happened at 21 degrees, 45 minutes. And if you follow me on the socials, I kept kind of talking about, this is it the most auspicious day? This typically is Saturn conjunct Jupiter, which happens once per year, is always said to be one of the most auspicious, highest electional, like there's a breath of life, there is abundance, there is expansion. This is typically an incredibly, incredibly buoyant and huge day. Very, very good day for doing things. And not that this day is any different than that, but in years past, I could say that without any pause. This year, I had a pause. I had a, are you sure? Are we sure? Like, really? Like, we're good? Like, this is really going to be all the things? There was just this energy just felt really, really different to me this year. And, as I was feeling into that, and this is why I wanted to use these cards for this reading, because it was like, okay, give me some guidance. Let's talk through this. There is, and this whole week, this whole energy, this whole month of April, and even March, there is something so potent about our future. So potent about our future. And what all of this and all of these changes, all of this respects, all of the things that the universe is doing, there's just something so potent about our future and what it's tied to. And that places, it's almost like I really feel it from my heart down to my root, which the root, it's Aries, the root, right? That it's the weight of responsibility. It's the weight of, like, we are responsible with the choices that we make today in creating a future for ourselves that supports our growth and what we're here to do, our purpose, that supports us going towards our destiny. So let's see here. What else did I have to say? Okay. It's yes. Okay. This was the other image I got. Sorry, I'm like trying to find in my notes. Like I wanted to make sure I got this image out and seeing what the cards are bringing. So, I also with this, I got this image of being in a art gallery. And you're like at the back of an art, the images are so like the images were coming in today. Again, going back to that Four of Swords, like allow them to just flow because you never know what's going to come out of them. So it was this image of running into a gallery, an art gallery, and you see off in the distance this painting and it catches your eye and it's like you can't tell what it is. It's really messy. It's not your normal, like it normally wouldn't catch your eye, but today for some reason it did. And it's not on your path. It's not in the direction that you were going to go around this art gallery. But again, this is where fortitude comes from. We have the world here and we have the Six of Chalices that came out, and especially with the Six of Chalices. This is where having the fortitude and having the knowing and having the patience, which I fucking get, that is not an Aries thing. I am fully aware patience is not the Aries thing. But having both of those understandings and the ability to listen and to be guided as the world changes, I am now going to start walking towards this painting. Even if it wasn't on my original plan, I can make some changes, right? I've made the decision. The 6, we're past the 5, which is the number of change. We're now making a different decision as it pertains to what we're feeling, our intuitiveness. The cups are here, the water's here. And so I'm going to get closer to this masterpiece because I don't know why it's catching my eye, but it's catching my eye. And as you walk closer and closer, the image turns from this like massive blob of colors into the most spectacular thing that you've ever seen. That's it. That's what we're headed towards. That's what's opening up, is this brand new picture, this brand new vision, Princess of Wands staring out into the distance. This brand new vision for you in your life. Because it's Aries. It's all about you. This is all about you. And so it is knowing with the Princess of Wands, with the Six of Chalices, with the world, as the world changes, it is knowing that you have the fortitude. And with the 6 here, you have the patience. You can wait. Look at this card. Like she is waiting on the bank while there's like fun happening in the river, which I'm questioning all of. Oh, I get the card. Look at this. So the 6 of Chalices is not that she's waiting at the bank of the river with 2 people in the river who are having fun and just waiting for them to get done. She's scrying in this river. She is seeing, going back to the painting, she is seeing an image be brought forth in front of her. The world has changed. Something is changing. We may not know what that is yet, but it is definitely happening. And I am taking time and solitude to reflect me, because this is an Aries thing. It is all about us. I am taking the time to sit and reflect, to sit and use my magic, scry, do the things that I need to do, take the actions that I need to take to get this image, even though it may be blurry, even though it may be far away, even though I may not see exactly what it is that the Sun and Jupiter are opening up for me, there is potential, pure potential here. And I acknowledge that. With the Princess of Wands, I acknowledge that there is something coming in the distance. I know I'm not there yet, and I get it. Aries not known for patience. But this is why Chiron was here first and working with us in here, because you have to have the patience to walk your journey, to unravel your masterpiece. You have to have it. That's what it is. And that's what the Princess of Wands, this growing of knowing, right? We're not maybe in that wisdom, that crone era, but she is ready and willing. She's ready and willing to take that journey. And with this being in Aries, again, this is all about the self. It's tied to the eclipses and the nodes changing and the future journey. Like Jupiter in Aries, I was really excited personally because Jupiter in Aries targets the 10th house in my natal chart. So that was awesome for me. And I have been loving and will continue to love Jupiter in Aries, but Jupiter in Aries is not the big story for 2023. Jupiter in Taurus is. And so as Jupiter is making his way to Taurus, which he will do next month, and as these eclipse happens, as this Aries energy is getting activated, as the nodes pull back and get into the Aries Libra axis, like, whoa, like 4 cards just came out. Let's see what they have to say. Hello. As all of that has been occurring, right, this is going to be one revisited by the nodes later on, this exact point, but this is going to be how Jupiter moves forward into Taurus and grounds all of the openings that he is providing right now at this time into reality, into your stable structures, into the earth, into that broad path of the Taurians, where we can then have our foundations and move the way that we need to move. And as we have worked, again, we still have Aquarius and Libra. We just had the Libra full moon. Pluto in Aquarius is doing some things. So as we work in Aquarius and Libra themes, which is all about the collective and others, it is this, again, we talked about this start, stop. It's this like being ebbed and flowed between collective and self, others and you. And how do you fit all of this abundance that is all around you? How do you fit in that? How do you fit in the abundance that's all out here with the collective? Where's your space within that? And this is why we have continued to say, and I'm signing on with my sister over there, with Moni, with Ripples in the Matrix, we have continued to say over and over and over again, get into your values, get into your objectives, get into your goals, get fucking clear. Because of all of this, if your own being is not clear on your direction and where you are going, then there is going to be all kinds of things that can just, again, it's that ebb and flow of chaos then. It's a really great time to be very clear, very great time to be intentional. And so out came the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Chalices, the King of Swords, and the Lovers. Here we have another Lovers. Somebody's going to have to drop in the comments or in the chat if you are live with me. But again, for the comments later on, if anybody is getting in these relationship vibes right now, because the Lovers has come out twice now and I keep hearing relationships. So this could be, start of a budding new relationship. So I would love to know. I want to celebrate with you. Okay, so as this pertains to this Aries and this ebb and flow, because this is what we were talking about when these cards came out, this ebb and flow between self and the collective. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Chalices, the King of Swords, and the Lovers. And I'm going to focus really quickly on this King of Swords. This King of Swords, that is you. This is your clarity. This is what we have been talking about. This is the values, the objectives, your goals. This is a king. And look, he's kind of like fucking sour faced. Like, look at his sour little face right there. He's got like this, you like, actually, maybe it's not even, you know what? His eyebrow is raised, like one eyebrow is up. He kind of looks to me like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? We talked about this. There ain't no question no more. Like, you really have the audacity to come at me and I've got this sharp ass sword in my hand? Okay. Again, all of these things changing. You really think I'm going to be fucking swayed that easily? Nah, bruh. No, boo-boo. I've done my work. I'm very clear on my values. I am very clear on the things that I want, on the unity that I'm providing, on the objectives that I have, on the goals that I have. I am very clear in my heart center where I'm going. I am incredibly clear in how I work with the universe, in what the universe can provide for me on this earthly realm. I am very clear about the community I have. I've already cut, King of Swords, I've already cut the people around me that I need to cut. I've let go of the things that I needed to let go. That Libra moon was illuminating for me. These moons that have been coming, that are in the past, they've been illuminating for me. I've already done, you ain't throwing me off. I'm here, King of Swords. I'm here. You ain't throwing me off. I have, and I love this Three of Chalices. Like, how happy is this card and how perfectly aligned with the season changing and getting into springtime with the little chick coming out of the egg. Again, 3 for me is that ancestral realm. I know, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles, a gift from the universe. I know I am spiritually protected. I know I'm spiritually grounded. I know my ancestors are behind me, cheering me on, bringing me with this little baby chick popping out of this egg with the sun conjunct Jupiter, bringing me something new, new life, new vision, new purpose. But I'm also very clear with this King of Swords. I am very clear on what that means for me. And I am very good at discerning which way and which direction I need to go. And at the end of it all, that's the unity. It's the celebration. It's the gifts. It's the clarity. It's the work. And here comes the union of all of those pieces together. The union of this lovers to me, I'm really getting as Saturn. The gifts of Saturn. Saturn, his whole role, regardless of how you feel about it, Saturn don't give 2 fucks about your feelings. So get your feelings out the way. Saturn's whole role is to show you where your work needs to be done to get you to fulfill your destiny, your purpose. Saturn points out the work. Once the work is done and accepting the work, doing the work, Saturn is your biggest gift giver. That is how I work with Saturn. I do not put the gifts of Jupiter. Jupiter expands. Jupiter allows for more to come in. But it's only through the work where your gifts for the long term, this long-term union, the one that's grounded deep, the one that's rooted, which we'll get to this tree oracle here, the one that is rooted, that's Saturn's gifts. That's what Saturn brings forward. And again, if anybody's getting this relationship thing on, make sure you put it in. I would love to know. Okay, let's see. I think that's about it. Let me think. Give me a moment. Okay, I've got 3 questions. Let me put these back, actually. I've got 3 questions. We'll pull a tarot for each of the questions, and then we'll get a tree oracle or guidance for that question. All right, hold on. Let me clear space and energy as we focus on these questions. All right. Follow the subscribe button on YouTube or in Twitch, and make sure you follow on socials. Thank you so much. Okay, questions. What do you want out of everything? That was the first question I had written down. The second one was, how does this opening affect you? And the third was, how are you reacting? So we're going to make these into collective questions. And this ties into, again, the Sun conjunct Jupiter as it pertains to the larger story that is unfolding in Aries, in the Aries area of your chart. And with this week and the eclipse energy is already kind of activating, if you will. And with Venus in her journey now in Gemini and what she's going to be doing, these pre-conversations before the eclipse happens and this whole breaking open happens. So, all right. What do you want? As it pertains to the collective, what should our focus be as all of this energy shifts and is available? All right, so we have the Nine of Swords, which is what popped out right away before the question was even finalized, the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so again, how does everything play out here? So the Nine of Swords, this is Pluto, hands down, right? Like, look at this lady. This lady is running away from all of these bats. Bats are amazing, by the way. That energy is great. And here she is, like, running away from the truth, running away from these swords, from whatever. There's a high level of fear here, right? Like, she is screaming with her hands up. This is Pluto. And what I'm seeing here, and this is why 3 cards came out. So the Hierophant sits in the middle, the Knight of Wands on the right, the Nine of Swords on the left. There's 2 choices that are coming out with this time, this week, and as we get into these eclipse energies. You're in the middle as the Hierophant, which is this internal, it's 5. There is a level of change here. There's a level of fluidity. There is a level of knowing and wisdom and understanding that all things must change. It is internal. It's about turning inside and going for your internal wisdom, which, again, I really feel like a lot of us have been working on and doing as we've progressed over the last at least year and a half, or as these nodes have been in Taurus and Scorpio as they're transitioning out. And so we have this knowledge, we have this wisdom. Now, how are we going to react? And how are we going to take action ourselves? Because this is Aries, ourselves. What choices are we going to make as everything unfolds? Because an unfolding is happening. That's the 5. An unfolding is happening. It's occurring. No choices. It's happening. So how are you going to react and act within that? And you could bounce back and forth between this Nine of Swords and this Knight of Wands, right? Here we have exuberance. Here we have Jupiter, right? Here we have exuberance. Here we have, this young, like, I'm just on my trusty steed. I'm ready to go. I've got the optimism. I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to take this journey on. I'm super excited. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I am here and I am in it. And then you have the Nine of Swords. Holy fuck. Fuck all this. I am out. Deuces. We gone. And you could ebb and flow back between these 2, and that's okay. But again, we didn't come this far just to come this far. We did not come this far to come this far. So this could be a red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light. And hopefully, because it is on my left, it is in the past, hopefully this Nine of Swords just fades into the distant and we get much more of this Knight of Wands, much more of this exuberant energy as everything opens up. All right, let's get into our Wisdom of the Trees Oracle for this particular question. So, Wisdom of the Trees, what do you have for us? What wisdom can you impart? All right, let me put this back up. So what came out was the cherry. Ah, look at the beautiful full moon. We've got the cherry blossoms. Let me get my oracle deck out and figure out what page this is on. Cherry 70. All right, so cherry, purity, cherry diva message. Think of my beautiful flowers glinting in the sunshine. Imagine them dancing in the breeze to signal the death of winter and the birth of spring. I am connected with the cycles of nature and can show you how to become one with them. The fragile beauty of cherry blossoms is highly esteemed in Japan, where it symbolizes purity and heralds the arrival of spring. In Japanese Shinto mythology, the cherry is the symbol of Konohana Sakuya Hain, the younger daughter of the mountain god Oyama Sumi. She is also the main goddess of Mount Fuji, where shrines have been built for her in the hope that she will prevent the volcano from erupting. Cherry tree bark is used in some cough mixtures. It's cough mixture, by the way. While in traditional Chinese medicine, the cherries themselves are considered to have warming properties. Do not contemplate your life with anxieties. Oh, rephrase. Do not complicate. Obviously, somebody need to hear contemplate as well. Maybe it was me. Do not complicate your life with anxieties. Concentrate on the beauty of nature and trust in the endless cycle of all living things. Keep your thoughts and intentions pure and honest, and treat others with an open and loving heart. Native to Europe, Northwest Africa, Western Asia, mature trees have ornamental red bark, bear flowers and edible fruits, grows up to 85 feet, 30 meters tall. Dang. That's a beautiful message. Don't complicate your life with anxieties. Concentrate on the beauty of nature and trust in the endless cycle of all living things. Things change. Keep your thoughts and intentions pure and honest and treat others with an open and loving heart. All right. Thank you, Sherry. Let's get these back and let's get to this second question. So with these openings, Spirit, how can we look into how are these openings going to affect the collective? Like, what are some things that we should be aware of as it pertains to what is opening? What should be aware of as it pertains to what we are opening? Should we be aware of? What should we be aware of? Ooh. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you. What should we be? Thank you. This is serious. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what we're gonna do, y'all. It's coming. So we have the Queen of Wands, Star, Princess of Chalices. We've got, okay, look. We have got the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. So this is going back to the previous because obviously they're connected. So we're going to leave these at the base, the Hierophant. Again, yay, look at what didn't show up. Oh my gosh, how exciting. Those Eight of Swords, they gone. Look, be gone. We don't need you. We don't need none of that. That's the past. Those are our past selves. We done the work. We done the work. We the Hierophant. We ready for this change. Knight of Wands, we ready. So this is going to be this grounding, right? Like How is this going to affect us? This is our grounding. We have got the wisdom, we have got what we've learned from our past, and we are moving forward with optimism and high energy. Thank you, Jupiter and Aries, for being here. So how is this going to open us up? How is this opening going to maneuver? We have the Queen of Wands, the Star, the Princess of Chalices, the Knight of Chalices, Strength, and the Queen of Chalices. Whoa, emotional fulfillment. Like there is a lot of water here. Thank you, Saturn in Pisces and Neptune still in Pisces. And Mars, which is our action taker and also the owner of the next two eclipses, right? Because we have the Aries eclipse, the one that conjoins it in May, is going to be in Scorpio, and Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So Mars is in action and he is in Cancer right now. All things. Thank you. And this to me is, as we look at how is this opening us out, there is a lot of movement. There's so much water here. Ooh, I'm even like feeling water, like lots of water. There is a lot of movement here that Mars in Cancer is really working through. It is that emotional, it's that emotional maturity that we've been talking about. We talked about the warrior energy, right? I believe it's pronounced Chali. How are you doing? Good to see you. Mars and Scorpio. I am a Mars in Cancer myself. Mars and Scorpio. Love that. Great energy. Thank you for joining the stream. And thank you for chatting. So, the water energy here, we talked about Mars's journey. And you can go back and rewatch that one. It is not on Twitch anymore. The highlight is, but it is on YouTube. It was all about the warrior energy, and that signified Mars. It was Mars maturing energy through his transit in Gemini, and then bringing that into the waters of Cancer, where he can also mature in not just from the thought process, but from the heart process, from the spirit process, from the internal intuitive feeling process that we all have. It's part of what being a human is, right? And how can he bring that maturity there before he gets into the fires of Leo and really gets driving again and gets to join with Venus as she goes through Leo and does her retrograde there. So this is like all of this water here, and especially because it is a couple. We have the princess and the knight of chalices. Like I even think, speaking of cherry, even in this princess of chalices card, I think those are cherry blossoms back there. So might be another signifier for somebody, but this is all about the abundance of spring. I see here we have Taurus on the side of this horse of the Knight of Chalices. We have Taurus on the Princess of Chalices. So there is something very, very grounded. Again, how is this opening affecting you? There is something deeply signified unity here, very strong in the, like almost that maturity with the Hierophant, almost that, and the star here, that maturity of being that warrior that is able to connect deeply with their emotions, is able to own and honor their center, their power, is able to empathize, because again, we can't forget about the collective and others, and is able to empathize without causing disarray within their own emotional center. And that's where I feel the star is coming in from, right? Like if you look here, she is in water and water is just dripping down her arms. There is a cleansing. How is this opening up? How is all of this conversation affecting? There is a deep cleansing that's happening. That can be intentional on your part as part of Aries, where you're actually with the Queen of Wands taking that action to cleanse. It could be something like getting a new Reiki certification. I got somebody, my girl does that if you need one. And working to energetically cleanse yourself. It could be starting new altars. It could be starting new classes. It could be going and doing new yoga practices, trying different styles of yoga. It could be sound bathing. There could be this intentional cleansing. It could maybe not even be intentional. It could be happening again, because it is the star, it is up here. We still have Neptune in this picture. It could be this unintentional cleansing on your part where you are being cleansed and purified through all of these openings. I'm walking into the bright light, right? Because here's the thing. This Knight of Wands is on. He is moving towards that sunset. He is moving towards the sun and all of the adventure. That could take going through something, right? It could take going through, having that journey, going on that journey, being willing to go on that journey. That could be the cleanse that is there. The cleanse could be, fuck those 8 of Swords that were there. We don't need those anymore. I'm here. I'm in my power. I'm ready to take action. Look at how happy this Queen of Wands is. I mean, she happy. And I love this glyph right here. This, I know it doesn't, but this glyph really reminds me of Uranus, which Uranus still has a very big part to play in Taurus, as we've got this Taurus energy here, especially with the strength here in the bull. Oh, and over here on this Queen of Cups too. And you can see it on the Hierophant. Dude, Taurus is all over. But this reminds me of Uranus, and Uranus is still in Taurus. He also has a big part to play as we begin to get into these eclipse energies and into the next round of eclipses. So yeah, Uranus ain't done, but look at how happy she is. She's like, I am fucking ready for whatever that dude can bring. I am so ready for his chaotic change. Bring it on. We are here. And even with this strength, we ready. We are grabbing that bull by the horns. We are ready for those changes. Go ahead. Go ahead and come at me, bro. This bull ain't happy. Typically, what I love about this rendition of this deck, typically this strength card has normally a female, and I love that he is with this gentleman here on the strength, has the a lion pendant around his neck. This bull is not happy, and typically in the strength card, it is a taming of the bull. It's the feminine being able to control through her wisdom, through her strength, the bull. That is not this card. This bull has like smoke coming out of his nose. He's dug his heels in. He is coming fucking at it. But the dude ain't afraid. Those 8 of Swords, they gone. He is jubilant. He is taking this Knight of Wands, but he also has that Hierophant wisdom. This ain't the first time he's taken the bull by the fucking horns. He got this. He has got this. But I also think, and I'm hearing the word wrestle, with all of this energy here and the fact that this card has the Leo lion as a pendant, which means that this gentleman is somehow aligned with the archetype of the Leo. And Leo, Venus, and Mars have a really big story coming up in Leo season on what Leo, all of this energy that's going to happen in Leo. Again, I kept saying today, this is not about today. It's not about tomorrow. It ain't even about Q2, right? It is about the long term. And so there is something you may be wrestling with your strength, wrestling with all of this water, wrestling with this cleansing, wrestling with the actions. Doesn't mean you're not optimistic, doesn't mean you're not doing it, but you may be wrestling with the outcomes until Leo season. Or you're going to get started and the wrestling might happen in Leo season, where you got Leo is a fixed sign. I'm a Leo sun. I know we are fixed. There is a fixedness about Leo. The fire is not wildfire like Aries. It is very controlled and contained. And so there could be this wrestling with, all right, I had all these things, and especially with the bull here. Now you got 2 fixed signs up in here. Pluto's in Aquarius. There's your 3rd fixed sign. I've got all of this. I was working, I was doing all the things I needed to do, and now things have to shift and change. I have the strength to do it. Again, we are in limbo this week. This is a week of limbo. We are in limbo. We may be wrestling with that limbo a little bit. We may be wrestling in the future with the things that we do because we don't have the whole story. Then we have the Queen of Chalices, which again goes back to this Turin. It goes back to the Prince. Like, this is a whole family right here, right? There's a whole family. But how I'm seeing this too with the way that it's coming out in the cards is this union of the Princess and Knight. This is still very youthful energy. This is the Maiden. We are in Maiden season right now. And this is that energy where there's going to be strength, there's going to be action, there's going to be you're going to have to do things in order to get to this queen, right? A princess and a knight just don't pop and become the queen the next day. There's some things that you got to go through. There's some trials and tribulations is how I'm hearing it. There's some trials and tribulations to get to this queen. All right, let's get a wisdom of the tree oracle for this question. What wisdom do you have, tree oracle, for us? Oh, thank you. Ooh, holly. Oh, I love that. Look at this beautiful holly that popped out. Let's take a look. I am one of the most easily recognizable trees in the forest. I have powerful associations with spirituality, and I represent the truth. Let me support you in your own quest for veracity. It is partly the holly's red berries that link it so strongly with Christmas. For centuries, red has been considered a powerful dispeller of evil. So the buried branches of holly combined decoration with spiritual protection. No doubt the spiny leaves were also thought to help keep evil spirits at bay. The wood from holly is white and finely grained. It is commonly used as a decorative inlay and sometimes also to make parts of musical instruments. The dried leaves of some holly species are drunk as tea, while others are used as an emetic or ceremonial stimulant. Native to Europe, Northern Africa, and Western Asia, bears flowers and poisonous berries, grows to 50 feet or 15 meters tall. So the message is, do not let yourself confuse fact with fiction or rational thought with wishful thinking. Hello, Saturn. This is not a good time to indulge in fancies or idle dreams. Listen to your conscience as it guides you towards honesty and truthfulness. Hallelujah. Praise all spirit. Thank you for bringing this card, because the question was for this spread was, again, how is all of this movement, all of this stuff that's happening, how is it affecting all the things? And coming out with all the cards that were here, do not let yourself get confused between fact and fiction, rational thought, and wishful thinking. This goes back to that conversation about get your values, get your objectives, goals, get clarity. This is not a good time to indulge in fantasies and idle dreams. There is nothing fantastical here. I guess maybe you can do the star a little bit, might be a little fantastic. There's nothing fantastical here. Nothing fantastical. Maybe the only thing is the star, but this really read as a cleanse. Really read as a cleanse. Listen to your conscience as it guides you towards honesty and truthfulness. All right, last question, and then we will close out for our Twitchy Tuesday. Let's get these back. Let's go here. All right, so last question is, we talked a little bit about reactions, so let's just get, because that is where the Eight of Wands, like we had that reaction question, which was one of the last ones. So let's just ask, how can we best use this energy this week as we get into eclipse season? How can we best use this energy, Spirit? All right, let's see. How can we best use this energy? Whoa, whoa. How can we best use this energy? Thank you. Thank you. And here. All right. Woo! Nice Ace of Wands. Woo. Aries. This is the sprite of Aries for sure. This Ace of Wands right here. Okay, let me put these back. All right, let's see what we have here. I know this came out first. I know this came out last. I don't know where these two came out first, but they are where they are. Okay, so Two of Pentacles dropped first. Then we have the Seven of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Chalices, Ace of Wands. Right. What do we need to do with all of this energy? What is best suited for us? Yeah, we need to find that balance. We need to find the balance. Again, going back to that Holly message, finding that balance between what you can control and can't. Finding the balance between us, all of these things are changing. Finding the balance, right? Finding the balance between self and the collective and others. Finding the balance between your, and wisdom and guidance from other sources. It's all about right now, again, as we are in limbo, it's all about finding the balance to stay grounded. The Seven of Swords, this to me is when I first dropped, I immediately heard. When I saw the card, I immediately heard, know who to talk to. Don't be afraid to talk to them. This, as we go in this limbo, as we're trying to find our balance, as we're transitioning through all of this energy, know, first of all, it's part of the balance. It is know who is on your journey. Know deserves to hear your stories. Know that can be a little bit of the Seven of Wands as well. Who deserves to have sense and know people, even if that is like hiring a coach to help you, you need hiring a coach, hiring a therapist, hiring somebody, or even something as simple as going to elders, going to your ancestors, whatever that looks like for you. But now is not the time to stay silent. Seven of Swords, now is not the time to stay silent. Speak your boundaries. Again, we're going back now to conversation with Venus and Pluto and Venus and Saturn that is happening this week, because this is how we best utilize this. Speak your truth. If that conversation jars you and you need help getting through it, talk to someone. We can provide just an additional level of clarity potentially for you. Thank you for that. Can you hear me now, or are we still having audio issues? Somebody can throw it in the chat if we are having audio issues. Are good. I'm still seeing audio on my side. So hopefully we still have audio. Messages are going to come through. We're good. Let's see where we're at. Okay. For speaking what you need to speak, and if you need to set boundaries, you are doing so. You're taking those actions and standing in your power. That's what this Queen of Pentacles is all about. I love this. There is abundance now. Again, Jupiter and Sun conjunct, no matter what, is an opening. It is a full light. It is abundance. It is expansion. Eclipses are great beginnings and great endings. It's one of my favorite astrologers, Chris Brennan, says. I love that. And it is beautiful. And it is abundant. There is nothing about this Queen of Pentacles that is not abundant. Right? And this is just like this to me is that Venus in Taurus. It's so abundant. It's so abundant right now. Everything is opening up for you, right? Here we have her opening up this chest of coins. Everything is so abundant right now for you to grab. You, Aries, you as yourself, to know the right response, what the right decisions are, right connections are, right balance is. Because on the other side, not only do we have fertility and abundance, we have the 10 of chalices, the most, like this is the card, the emotional fulfillment in every sort of way. And we have the Ace of Wands, the sprite, tiny fire sprite. I love dearly. Went around a maple. How divine is that as we begin to work through the middle of the year and the seasons change? Went around the maple. We have one coming up, so we got it. We're here. As we transition into this energy, there is an opening here. It's all in how you choose to play it out. Again, we are nothing more. Everything that is with us is nothing but an accumulation of our choices. Several words in your mirror, find your balance. What would to talk to? Bring those things forth. Speak what you want into existence. Very clear and intentional through movements and your words as we go forward. All right, let's get the last three oracle wisdom for this Twitchy Tuesday, and then we will head out. What do you have for us? Three oracles. What is the wisdom that we have? Right. Right? And I call it, is it me? Anybody correct me if I'm wrong? Suji? Sugi? Let's find out. I know nothing on this tree. I'm very excited to learn. One. All right. 31, 31. This goes back to roots. I love it. Ancestors is making themselves here. Okay, so it's a sacredness. Yeah, let's see here. Deep message. It can remind you of the importance of finding a connection with all the invisible spirits that surround you throughout your life. Help you honor them every day and to remember that all aspects of nature are sacred. It is common to see Suji trees growing near temples and shrines in Japan, where they are regarded as sacred trees. Many of them are also extremely old, which adds to their vulnerability. There's this wisdom here. The Suji tree grows in the ground of the Shinto Sugawara Shrine in Yamanaka, mostly Japan. People. It is thought to be at least 2,000 years old. Jomo Suji Yakushima is possibly even older. It is one of the reasons why the island has been designated in UNESCO World Heritage Site. Suji wood is like red, resistance to decay, and used white for building. It's native to Japan. It's the national tree of the Japan. Bears cones, extremely long-lived, and grows to 230 feet or 70 meters tall. Damn. Right, here's the message. Someone's behavior is troubling you. If you go back to Venus and Pluto, someone's behavior is troubling you. Perhaps you feel that they should be behaving differently or that you don't understand their motives. Try to rise above these difficulties to see their true spiritual nature instead. Beautiful message. Because how are we react? Beautiful message. It all comes back to self. That is what we are doing right now. One more time, someone's behavior is troubling you. Perhaps you feel that they should be behaving differently, that you don't understand their motives. Try to rise above these difficulties and to see their true spiritual nature instead. Ooh, right. Let's change up the screen. That's awesome. I am thankful everybody was here. Thank you everyone in the chat and letting me know things that were going on and sharing a little bit about yourself. It is so great to have people in the chat, people engaging again, because look, I'm taking the same action that y'all are. I am in this journey with everybody else here. So let me once again just go back to I am going to state exactly what we are doing here. We are here to for quarter 2 to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and 100 subscribers on Twitch. And it is up to each of you to help me. What will show up, I will do my own work, I will continue to provide, and I will continue to be here. But if you found value in this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you stash those alerts. Make sure that you are on with me live or catching replays and sharing that out to your community if you found it is what we are here for. Again, my name is Tony here with the Visual Sages and Twitchy Tuesdays. And we out, y'all. We done. It's a great Twitchy Tuesday. I will see you next week. It is a season, y'all. So I am excited about what messages from the ancestors, messages from the tarot are going to come out. Have an awesome week. Have an awesome time in this sun stop, go stop, and in this space. And we'll check everybody later.